I wanted to drop out on the very first day of boot camp, not because of the 100-degree heat, not because of that bald-headed instructor who had it out for me from the start, but because of the girl standing up on that stage, mic in hand, scanning the whole school like she owned the place, that ice-cold goddess Lily Ryan. Not only was she the living legend of Haida University, she was also the all-powerful executive president of the student council, and the worst part was that list of people she had her eye on had exactly one name on it, mine, Jake Carter. I pulled my cap down low, shrank into the back of the formation, and prayed this queen would just forget I existed. No such luck. The moment I dreaded most came anyway. That voice over the PA, cold as glacier melt, suddenly went dead silent. And then the whole field heard those words that made my scalp crawl. The guy in the last row, pretending to pass out Jake Carter front and center. The silence that fell was so complete, you could hear heartbeats. My buddy Danny, standing next to me, was shaking like a leaf, staring at me with pure terror in his eyes. Bro, you just messed with the wrong person. That is Lily Ryan. They call her the Grim Reaper of Haida University. Fall into her hands and you are done for. My heart was pounding out of my chest, head glued to the ground. I could not even look up at that stage. Lily and I were way more than just acquaintances. Our families went way back. We were playing in the mud together in diapers as little kids. But then I spent years at a military base, picked up a whole skill set, and also picked up way too much unwanted romantic drama to dodge all the blind dates my family kept setting me up with. I deliberately tested into this university just to get some peace and quiet. Who could have known Lily Ryan would be student council president here, and also head supervisor of the entire boot camp? Jake Carter. Do I really need to personally come get you? Footsteps echoed toward me. The click of heels on the rubberized track felt like a death march. I snapped my head up and locked eyes with that half-smiling, sharp gaze. Lily was wearing a perfectly fitted camo uniform. The belt cinched at her waist in a way that was genuinely ridiculous, and her whole presence was off the charts. Sorry, Ma, my legs just gave out. I snapped to attention immediately, but started talking nonsense anyway. Laughter erupted all around us. Lily walked right up to me, those sharp eyes of hers like they could see straight through you. She leaned in just slightly, and in a voice only the two of us could hear, she said, "Keep on acting. Jake Sr. told me you came back from the military built like a tank, and now you are standing here telling me your legs gave out, busted." I let out an awkward cough and forced the most painful-looking smile I had ever made. "Come on, Lily. Cut me some slack. I am trying to keep a low profile here." The corner of Lily's mouth curved into an amused smirk, and she straightened back up into full Ice Queen mode. "Do not let it happen again. Come by my office at noon. I need to talk to you." With that, she turned and walked away cool as ever, leaving behind a crowd of guys staring at me with eyes red enough to commit murder. Going to Lily's office at noon was basically walking into a trap, so I decided to play dumb. The second we were dismissed, I bolted straight for the cafeteria, but right after I grabbed my food, a slick, sarcastic voice came from behind me. Well, so this is the pretty boy Lily called out, huh?" I turned around and saw our unit's instructor Chen holding his tray, looking down at me with pure contempt. This dude had been gunning for me all morning, probably had a thing for Lily, and just could not stand the sight of me. I shoveled in a bite of braised pork and mumbled back, "Hey instructor, thanks for everything you do." Instructor Chen let out a cold laugh and slammed his tray down on the table. "You better bring your A game this afternoon. Do not think knowing somebody in student council makes you special." Under my watch, dragons lay low and tigers heal. I sighed to myself, thinking, man, I just want to coast through this thing. Why is that so hard at 2 in the afternoon? The sun was hot enough to melt a person, and the whole unit was holding at ease stance. Except me. I was planted in a gap between 2 trees with direct sunlight. Zero shade, nowhere to hide. Obviously a special gift from Instructor Chen. Sweat was dripping off my chin, but I asked myself, do not move. Not even a little. This level of heat does not even count as a warm-up for me. "Hey, you in the back, stop moving." Instructor Chen suddenly pointed at me and shouted, "Give me 50 push-ups." The whole class erupted. Everyone had seen clearly. I had not moved at all. Danny beside me tried to speak up for me. "Instructor Sir Jake did not move. Shut your mouth. You want to join him?" Instructor Chen snapped, losing his cool. I narrowed my eyes, the anger inside me starting to burn. I wanted to stay under the radar, but that does not mean I am a pushover. I stepped out of formation slowly and deliberately took off my cap, revealing my clean-cut hair and sharp jawline. "Instructor, physical punishment requires justification." My voice was quiet, but carried a cold edge to it. "I am the instructor. My word is the justification." Instructor Chen stepped up and shoved me, but when he did not budge me 1 inch. I stood there like a rock, rooted to the ground just as the tension hit its peak. A figure stepped in front of me. Instructor Chen, Article 3 of the Boot Camp Handbook. No unauthorized physical punishment of students. Lily Ryan had appeared out of nowhere, holding a cold sports drink. She stared Instructor Chen down with her full force. Instructor Chen's expression shifted. "President Ryan, this kid is a troublemaker." "I was just dealing with a troublemaker." Lily turned around. Right there in front of the whole unit, twisted open the cap and put that cold drink in my hand. And her voice suddenly turned so warm, it could have dripped honey. "Drink up. Ignore people like that." Dead silence hit the entire field, and then the roaring erupted and nearly blew the roof off. I stood there holding my drink, watching Instructor Chen's face turn a deep shade of purple, and all I could think was, man, that felt good. But I knew I was officially infamous now after the evening session. I tried to slip back to the dorm, but Danny grabbed me and would not let go. "Bro, my guy, please. The art department's campus sweetheart Emma is over by the Grove crying her eyes out. Word is her boyfriend dumped her. Let us go check it out, maybe even play the hero." "Nah," I said and rolled my eyes. "Girls, just slow me down. I do not need the distraction." Apparently she is Lily Ryan's best friend. I stopped walking, let out a long sigh. Fine, lead the way. If this girl was Lily Ryan's best friend and I just walked away, Lily would probably drill me into the ground tomorrow. We got to the bench by the Grove, and sure enough, there was a girl with long hair crying her eyes out, surrounded by a few clueless guys. I kinda recognized her, Emma. Yeah, she actually looked the part, sweet and soft. Completely different from Lily's whole powerful, commanding vibe. What happened? I walked over and asked. Emma looked up, eyes red and puffy. "My boyfriend," she said. "He told me he was slammed with his startup. But I just saw him at the West Gate eating barbecue with some other girl, and he was feeding her." Danny was furious. "That is straight up disgusting. Let us go beat his face in." I put a hand on Danny's shoulder and calmly asked, "Are you sure it was him? Do you have a photo?" Emma pulled out her phone and pointed to a picture. "That is him. His name is Tyler. He goes to the sports college next door." I glanced at the photo and raised an eyebrow. The watch this guy was wearing, if it was real, it would run at least $500,000, but his whole outfit screamed budget knockoff. Male social climber let us roll to the west gate. I pulled my cap back on, a cold smirk on my face, perfect timing. I did not even finish dinner. Let us go have a little chat with this startup genius when we got to the Westgate BBQ spot. Sure enough, there was the guy named Tyler arm around some heavily made-up girl laughing it up. The second Emma saw them, the tears started coming again. She tried to bolt, I caught her by the wrist. Gentle but firm, you are not running. You did nothing wrong here. I walked straight over with the group. Hey, is that not the big boss Tyler himself? I grabbed a chair and dropped into it right across from him. Then casually snagged a skewer of lamb off his table, closed a few $1 million deals already. Back to eating street food, Tyler blinked. Looked at my boot camp uniform, and a flash of contempt crossed his face. Who the heck are you? Are you crazy? The girl on his arm chimed in too. Where did this nobody come from? Get lost. Emma walked over too, still trembling, but locking eyes on Tyler hard. Tyler, who is this? Tyler's face changed. He was about to make something up when I slapped my phone face up on the table, displaying search results for a luxury watch brand. The exact watch on his wrist, Patek Philippe Nautilus. Retail price $500,000. I looked at him with a half smile. Shame about one thing though, the second hand on your watch ticks way too loud. I could hear it from 6 feet away. This thing is a $9 knockoff from the internet, right? Every eye in the area snapped to Tyler's wrist. Tyler reflexively covered his watch, then flew to his feet in a rage. What the heck are you saying? I will end you! He swung a fist straight at my face. I let out a dismissive snort, leaned back slightly and dodged it without effort, then shot my hand out, grabbed his wrist and twisted it down in one fluid motion. A sharp crack followed, along with Tyler screaming like a stuck pig. So that is what the sports college produces, huh? I stood up, looking down at Tyler on his knees, gripping his wrist in pain. Then turned to Emma, who was standing there completely stunned. Listen up, next time you date someone, open your eyes wider. A clown like this is not even worth the dirt on my shoes just then. A slow clap came from beyond the crowd. I turned around and there was Lily Ryan leaning against her car door, arms folded, eyes full of amusement. Nice moves, Jake. Since you are clearly that good with your hands, you are leading the combat drill tomorrow. My goodness, the next morning I already regretted everything. Standing front and center in front of a formation of thousands of people with all those eyes on me felt worse than 3 days face down in a swamp combat form. One military fighting stance, ready, begin. I barked out the commands on autopilot, my body snapping through lunges and strikes. With textbook precision, but in my head I was already scheming. How to get out of this lead drill role, this was way too high profile. It completely wrecked my master plan of coasting through school and graduating quietly. The moment the break whistle blew, I deflated like a balloon. Out of the corner of my eye, I caught Lily making her rounds below the stage with a few student council officers. She had switched to a fitted white button-down and black slacks, hair pulled back in a high ponytail, file folder in hand. That whole do not come near me energy had every guy in the vicinity admiring from a safe distance. Here was my shot, since I could not just quit outright. I had to get her to fire me. Lily was someone I knew well. She absolutely could not stand guys who were whiny and spineless. If I acted like a complete mess and embarrassed her in public, there was no way she would keep me as led. I took a deep breath, loosened my collar on purpose and threw on my most obnoxious attitude, then hollered over the fence at the top of my lungs, "Hey Lily!" That single shout startled half the people around me who were mid-sip on their water bottles. Lily stopped and turned her head, those sharp eyes narrowing just slightly as they landed on me. I pushed my luck, deliberately dragging out my words in the most insufferable whiny voice I could manage. "This is killing me, my throat is completely fried. Can I get some water or there is no way I can keep running this drill?" The whole field went quiet. Danny next to me looked like his eyes were about to pop out, frantically tugging at my pants leg and whispering hard. "Dude, are you insane? That is Lily Ryan. You are seriously over here whining at her. You have a death wish." Every other guy in the area had their face arranged into the expression of watching a man walk to his own funeral, begging the coldest girl on campus to fetch you water. This dude is cooked. I was internally grinning, just waiting for Lily to go stone-faced and drop a flat. "Do not want the job, then get out!" Lily looked at me, her expression unreadable. She passed her folder to the officer beside her and walked toward me step by step. The clean, crisp sound of her heels on the pavement was almost suspenseful. Here it comes, the calm before the storm. She reached the edge of the platform, and I happened to be standing on the step. "So we were basically eye-level tired?" she asked, her voice quiet, but carrying a tone I could not quite pin down. "Yeah, pretty wrecked arms or dead legs or shot." I kept going for it and even leaned my face in a little. "Come on, as head supervisor, you gotta take care of your people." Lily suddenly smiled, and when she did, it was like watching ice break in spring. Something radiant and devastating bloomed across that flawless face. My stomach dropped. Right then, a very bad feeling hit me. Before I could even react, her hand dipped into her pocket and came out with a silk handkerchief embroidered with orchids. A faint trace of jasmine hit my nose immediately. The next second, that handkerchief was pressed gently against my forehead, Lily dabbing away the sweat at my temple with light, delicate strokes, her fingers just barely grazing my brow. "You really did sweat a lot," she said in a voice so soft it could have been coaxing a child. I stood there completely frozen, brain totally offline. This was not how the script was supposed to go. And she was not done. She put the handkerchief away, turned to the officer beside her and took a sealed bottle of water, twisted the cap open one-handed and held it right up to my mouth. "Open up," 2 simple words spoken like an absolute command. I opened my mouth on pure reflex, cool water slid down my throat. Lily tilted her wrist slightly, eyes focused entirely on me, drink, like she was tending to a house pet. Someone somewhere gulped audibly, and in the dead silence of that field it was impossibly loud. Then everything exploded. No way. What am I seeing right now? Lily is wiping his sweat and hand-feeding him water. My heart is shattered. It is in pieces. I am done. This ship is sailing. I am obsessed with them already, the cocky new guy and the ice-cold president. Guys groaning and girls screaming all blended together and nearly launched everyone into orbit. Lily finished the water and casually shoved the bottle into my arms. Instantly back to her cool, composed self, though a tiny glimmer of mischief flickered in her eyes. "You have had your water and your sweat is gone, but if the next session is a mess, I will post your baby photos in those split pants up on the school confession wall." She turned and walked away, all effortless grace leaving me with 1,000 murderous stares from the crowd behind her. I stood there gripping that water bottle like it was a live grenade. This was not her trying to fire me, this was her straight up trying to destroy me. At lunch, I had barely sat down in the cafeteria with my tray when Danny dropped into the seat across from me. With the face of someone attending a funeral, shoved his phone in my face. Bro, you were famous and not in a good way, not even God himself can save you now. I glanced at the screen. The Haida University campus forum had a pinned post with a title screaming in red shocking ice goddess Lily Ryan hand feeds a student in public. Just who is freshman Jake Carter below the headline was a high-definition photo. Lily pressing that handkerchief to my face, expression warm, while I wore the look of a man who was supposedly enjoying it but was actually terrified. The post had already blown up and the comments were a complete disaster. Top comment, who is this guy? Dude is not even all that, why is Lily being so nice to him? Second comment, heard he is a connected guy. Called out on day 1 of boot camp and now pulling this stunt, case closed. Third comment, this is what they call riding the wave in style, respect, honestly. Haida's #1 freeloader has arrived, the Freeloader King. My eye twitched. I picked up a piece of pork rib and bit into it hard. These people sure have some wild imaginations, and that is not even the worst of it. Danny scrolled down, check this out, recognize this account. I looked closer, the username was Tyler on top. Tyler on top, sure, some people are real pieces of work. No money, no status, so they cling to women to climb the ladder. Being a freeloader is not as easy as it looks. Careful you do not choke on it. No need to guess, that was definitely Tyler, the guy I clowned last night. Right below his comment, another familiar username had replied, Iron Instructor Chen. Boot camp is a serious setting, not a stage for people to flirt and show off. Someone who got in through connections like this will not last long. Wow. Instructor Chen decided to pile on too. These two were in perfect sync, and together they had completely flipped the narrative. What started as people just watching the drama had turned into a comment section full of people piling on me. Jake Carter, get off campus, you freeloader. You are an embarrassment. Somebody needs to dig up his background. I scrolled through the comments, and honestly did not feel angry at all. Just kind of found it funny. The same Jake Carter who faced down armed traffickers on the border, without flinching, was now being cyber-mobbed by college students who called him a freeloader. Bro, you are seriously still laughing. Danny looked like he was about to lose his mind. The whole campus hates you right now. I already caught like 3 dudes mean mugging you just in the food line. People can say whatever they want. I calmly took a sip of soup, and besides, freeloading is not for everyone. Those guys are just jealous. Your mindset is insane. Danny gave me a thumbs up, then immediately frowned. But Tyler is not letting this go. Look at what he just posted. I took the phone and opened Tyler's profile. 5 minutes ago, he had dropped a new post. Dripping with arrogance, just because you found someone to hide behind does not mean you run this place. At tomorrow night's welcome show, I will be delivering a special gift for our so-called Freeloader King. I am going to expose who he really is and take him down publicly. Stay tuned, Tyler had even tagged me directly in the post. Even though I had never even made an account expose me. I handed the phone back to Danny, my expression going cold. I just wanted to get my degree under the radar, but this fly would not stop buzzing in my ear. Genuinely annoying, apparently breaking his wrist yesterday was not enough of a lesson. He still did not get it. Tyler has some family money, and word is, he is tight with the entertainment crew and student council. He is definitely going to pull something at the show tomorrow night. Danny looked stressed. I wiped my mouth and stood up. Then sent the water bottle Lily gave me sailing perfectly into the trash can 5 meters away. A clean thud if he wants to play. I straightened the collar of my uniform, the corner of my mouth pulling into a cold smirk. Then let us play. I just hope that big gift of his does not blow up in his own face. Walking out of the cafeteria, the afternoon sun was still merciless. I squinted out at the welcome show stage being assembled in the distance. Take me down. Huh, interesting. Just because I want to keep a low profile does not mean I will take disrespect lying down. Since they already slapped the Freeloader King label on me, I do not mind showing them all what real backbone looks like. The welcome show had been going great, until a deafening engine roar tore through the night sky above the field. I was hiding in a corner eating watermelon, figuring out how to sneak back to the dorm early, and the sound hit my eardrums like a punch. A flashy red Ferrari like a wild animal out of control. Blew past the security perimeter and straight into the main event area. A drift spin at full speed, rubber burning against the pavement mixed with a cloud of dust. Sent the girls in the front rows coughing. The hood stopped less than 2 feet from the stage edge. Absolutely unhinged, thousands of people in the crowd were stunned, thinking this had to be some planned stunt. The door swung upward, and Tyler climbed out in a sequined blazer with a slicked back hairdo looking like a peacock in full display. Right behind him, a van pulled up and out stepped a few long-haired, tattooed musicians unloading what looked like obscenely expensive instruments, including a white grand piano that took multiple people to move. Tyler grabbed the mic, ignored the instructors trying to manage the scene, and looked directly toward the side of the stage, where host Emma was still reviewing her script. Emma, campus sweetheart, stop hiding. Tyler's voice boomed through the speakers with a nauseating air of superiority. What happened was the other night, not enough crying. Now you see your ex showing up like this and you are feeling small. Emma went pale. The script in her hands was shaking. Tyler let out a cold laugh and scanned the crowd, until his eyes zeroed in on the corner where I was sitting and also the guy named Jake Carter. He pointed at the lighting crew, probably paid off. Because a harsh white spotlight immediately snapped onto me, I had not even swallowed my watermelon yet. Stop playing dead over there, I hear you are tough. Tonight, we are not settling this with fists. Let us go a little more refined, stop hiding behind a woman eating for free. If you are a real man, get up here. The crowd went wild. Wait, is that the freeloader guy? Tyler showed up to crash the party. He drove a Ferrari to a boot camp welcome show, what a clown. I calmly spit out 2 watermelon seeds and grabbed a napkin to wipe my mouth. This idiot actually thought renting a sports car turned him into some kind of big shot. The rental company logo on the license plate frame was still on there. I was not going to bother getting up sharing a stage with this clown felt beneath me. But just as I was about to stand and leave a cool hand pressed down on my shoulder, Lily Ryan had materialized from nowhere and was now sitting on the step beside me in the darkness. Her profile was breathtakingly sharp, those expressive eyes flickering with something dangerous in the pulsing glow of the light sticks around us. Leaving, she asked softly. Too loud, going to sleep. I patted the dust off my pants. Lily did not move her hand. Instead, she leaned in close to my ear, warm breath grazing my neck. Carrying that familiar trace of jasmine, and every muscle in my body went taut. Jake. Her voice dropped low-laced with something I had never heard from her before, something playful and magnetic. like a feather brushing against every nerve in my body. Go knock him down a few pegs. Beat him. And tonight I will call you big brother and do whatever you say. The last thread of rational thought in my brain snapped clean. I turned and stared straight at Lily. Those half-smiling eyes looking right back at me, you said it.